This video is by Straight Goods News. SGNews.ca.
Yeah, I don't know if Bob's pushing for a Senate appointment or what, to find him so often agreeing with the Conservative government. Look, this was a budget vote. The rules of the House are incredibly simple, and for the most basic motions or bills that an MP moves, you got to be there. The Finance Minister found it too inconvenient to be there and broke one of the fundamental rules. The House voted incorrectly last night on the Government's Implementation Act. C-45 is now in minutes after this, we assume, going back to debate, and it can't. I mean, it puts the Speaker in an awkward position, certainly, but let's not get these things wrong. Between the Finance Minister and the Prime Minister, they've been inconsistent, and it causes problems for Canadians when they don't feel like they can trust their Finance Minister to perform the most basic duties.
But to sum it up, I mean, it sounds like the Speaker's going to go and see the instant replay. This is like football or something, because
he's got to go and check the tape.
You're saying you have on tape the fact that
of course we have on tape.
Whereas in the journals,
this is a secondary concern that the journals are not recording what happens in the House accurately. We'll take that up. But everybody that saw the vote last night saw that the Finance Minister decided to just take off before the one motion that was sitting in his name. I mean,
Mr. Van Loan says he was there, and that counts as a nominated person.
And it doesn't. And so Mr. Van Loan knows that's wrong. That's why he winked across at me after he made his passionate plea of why things were done correctly. Look, this may seem inside, and some of it is, but the rules are the rules. And suddenly making up new rules as you go along gives Canadians pause about this government's basic ability to handle much more complicated things other than just staying in your seat long enough to vote on a budget that this Finance Minister said was so critical to the Canadian economy that we'd slide back into recession. They've gotten a lot of things wrong. Basic predictions about where the economy is going to go. They predicted the last recession totally wrong. And Canadians want to know that they have a Finance Minister who has that basic competence. And this is yet another example.
Just give you one more day of complaining about their budget.
This gives one more day for Canadians to see that the government is incompetent about something that they claim a great deal of competence over, which is moving legislation through and handling the economy. It's just not true.
Minister Van Loan suggested that there are reasons why certain individuals may not be in the House. With Minister Flaherty, are you curious as to why he wasn't in the House, or why is there any reason you think he might not have been in the House?
Mr. Van Loan could have explained that right away. And absolutely, if there was a cause, and the government had a remedy for this. All they had to do is let the table know and say, Mr. Van Loan will be moving this bill because Mr. Flaherty had to leave. The Prime Minister had to leave for some of the votes yesterday to meet the Korean Prime Minister, I believe. I'm not sure who he was hanging out with. That's fine. But for the Minister of Finance, just on his own volition to get up, break the rules of the House and expect nobody to care or to notice, we actually care about how this place works. I know dealing with the Conservatives every day, as you do, as I do, can give you pause to think, well, maybe they can continue to break the rules and there aren't any consequences. There are. This was done badly last night. It was a very simple thing to do. The Finance Minister couldn't be bothered with the inconvenience of voting and being in his place. I don't know why. Absolutely, we're open to an explanation, but there hasn't been one forthcoming.
So now the Speaker has to rule.
Yeah, and the Speaker's now been given some time because, oh look, the government has shut down debate again today and moved to orders of the day. So the one silver lining out of the government continuing to fracture Parliament and stop democracy is that the Speaker gets a minute. I gave him some heads up to let him know that this is what was happening, and we realize we're not saying that suddenly the vote's going to slip and the government's going to fall, but we are saying that they should respect the basic tenets of democracy and of Parliament for once. Just get it right. And if they've got an explanation, let's hear it and let's correct the vote.
Can you say in your own words where you think C-45 stands right now as a result of the problems?
We're meant to be beginning the debate on the next stage without having passed the last stage properly. We've said that there's at least one clear remedy is to simply conduct the vote again. We're all about to be there in the House in 20 minutes. That would be simple. If the Minister of Finance can't be there at the time, then they can just have somebody else do it for him. But
he was there last night, generally, wasn't he?
Yeah, but the general doesn't make the particular...
No, I know, but I'm just asking you. Like was he maybe in the washroom, or are you saying that he was maybe out of the pub? Like, where was he?
I have no idea, and neither do Canadians.
Was he there 2 minutes before?
Yeah.
And again 2 minutes after?
No. It was. We're trying to look at the record. We think it was certainly the last vote. It might have been the last 2 or 3 votes. It was a strange moment because if you watched the vote last night, the Conservatives sort of left in shifts. It wasn't his shift. He was meant to be there, and he wasn't. I don't know why not. I'm not casting any aspersions as to what else he was doing. All I'm saying is the rules are clear. You got to be there. Not showing up and just saying it was our intention, as the government said today, it was our intention for him to be there. Well, give me a break.
But
what do you hope to gain? What do you hope to gain?